Hi, my name is Huaxun, and I'm going to talk about Draw a Surprise. This is joint work with Xianglin Zhang and our professor Yulun Liu at National Yangming Jiaotong University. So let me start by showing you something. Take a look at this little guy. Right now, I'm pretty sure he is a chicken. But watch this. Now here's a monkey. It's the same drawing, we didn't erase anything, but it turned into a completely different animal. And that's the idea I want to share with you today. So illusions are something people have learned for a long time. For example, here's the classic dot rabbit illusion, which show you two different things in just one single picture. And more recently, people have done some pretty impressive work on generating these kind of visual illusions. Take visual anagram. They create images that can change meaning when rotate or flip. And some work like Illusion 3D also bring this idea into 3D domain. But if you look closely, all of these have one thing in common. They are all playing with space. You rotate it, you flip it, or you move where you are standing. So we start wondering, what if the illusion happened over time instead? And this idea actually came from some drawing tutorials. They usually start with something super simple, like just writing the number 5 a few times. Then step by step, it grows into a cat. This got us thinking, what if the drawing changes meaning over time? That would be an illusion that happened in time. So that's what we are calling a progressive semantic illusion. The idea is that a single sketch shows you different things at different stages of drawing. And here's what our text actually looks like. You give us a pair of prompts, say a rabbit and horse. We give you back a single illusion sketch. And if you watch the drawing process on the right, it first looks like a rabbit, but by the end, it becomes a horse. And this is not easy. The stroke we draw for the rabbit still have to work later as the part of the horse. So in a way, the rabbit and horse have to share the same beginning. And we call that a common structural space. So here's how our method works. First, we set out the stroke. We just randomly sample some Bezier curve near the center of canvas. Then we split them into two groups. The first half are prefix stroke showing blue, and the rest are delta stroke showing orange. And our goal is to make sure that the prefix stroke alone should match the first concept, the rabbit. Then once we bring in the delta stroke, the whole thing should naturally grow into the second concept, the horse. And the way we make that happen is with something called score distilling sampling. We optimize both stages at the same time. From the top branch, we take just the prefix stroke, render them out and run them through a Forsen diffusion model with the prompt a rabbit, and we get our prefix SDS loss. For the bottom branch, we do almost the same thing, but this time we render all the strokes together and run them with the prompt a horse, and that's our full SDS loss. So our total SDS loss is simply the sum of the two, the prefix and the full. And the key idea is that the prefix SDS encouraged the first half of the stroke to be a rabbit. At the same time, the full SDS loss encouraged the entire sketch to be a horse. In that way, our blue prefix stroke not only optimizes for the rabbit stage, but also need to remain useful in the final horse drawing. However, with this working, we ran into a new problem. Sometimes the orange stroke just covers up the blue one. And when that happens, the sketch gets messy and the blue stroke never really get the chance to improve. So to fix that, we add an overlay loss. We simply blur two stroke groups and penalize where they overlap. And the final objective becomes the SDS loss plus the array loss. And with this pipeline, we get a nice clean illusion like this. It starts as a rabbit, and once the orange straw comes in, it becomes a horse. And of course, even for the same pair of the prompt, there are many possible ways to draw the illusion. So rather than picking the good one by hand, we use a visual language model to find the best one automatically. And here's our results. This is not a dog. This is a sheep. This is not a pig. This is an angel. And for this one, this is not a swan. Take a guess. Then feel free to check out our website for the answer and many more results. As for application, our results don't have to stay on the screen. On the left, we got a transparent card. It first looks like a rabbit, but when we slide another card on top, it becomes an elephant. On the right is a water-sensitive card, which shows you one thing dry and something else once you spread it. So let's go back to our little friend from the beginning. It first looks like a chicken, and then it becomes a monkey. Now you know the trick behind it. Same drawing, different moment, different word. That's our straw as prize. Thank you.